Hi, and welcome to the 10 Square Meter Workshop. In the previous 3 episodes in this series, I built my auto router, the Routemaster. And now I want to show it in use. Let me show you its features. The first step in the use of a router table is to select the correct bit and fit it. The insert is first removed. This particular router has an interlock, which you need to release before it will allow the bit to come fully up. On the controller screen, Change is selected and it warns you to release the interlock. You can then press Change. When this is pressed, first the fence moves out of the way, then the bit rises, it is now ready to lock, so the bit can be changed with the use of a single hand. And the desired bit fitted. Restore is then pressed. The bit retracts to the previous 0 and the fence returns. Because the bit has been changed, the 0 has of course been lost, so it needs to be reset. With the insert plate back in, 0 is selected on the screen. This allows the bit to be manipulated to below the surface and the fence to be brought in to the appropriate position before it can be set. We do the bit first by lowering it down and stopping below the surface, then putting the 0 plate on top of the insert, like so. We can then press set and the bit is risen until it just touches the plate. That's the bit 0 set. To set the fence 0, the fence is first brought past the bit. Then the bit is raised by pressing the bit button. It now has a surface which the plate can touch. I'm just rotating it to make sure the blade is facing right outwards. We can now hold the 0 plate gently against the fence and press set. And it's found it. And after a short delay, the bit automatically moves down out of the way back to 0. The 0 is now set. Simple cuts can be made in manual mode. Let's say you want to make a cut, let's say, 5mm deep. So that's where you want the bit. And 4mm wide. That's set for the fence. Notice they're in yellow. Press go. The bit comes up, the fence moves. They've changed to white. You're ready to go. I can now cut the workpiece. And the measurement is 517, not bad for MDF, by 3.92. I'll take that. Now let's do something more complex. Let's go into the apps and choose a finger joint. Now here we've got a number of parameters. First of all, let's say we're using a 5mm bit, but we want the width of the slot to be, let's say 8mm. And the depth of cut, well, let's make that 9. We're now ready to go. When I press go, it'll go to the next screen. And here you can choose whether you're going to start with a mark or a space. Of course, half of them are marks and half of them are spaces. We'll leave it on space and make a start. I'm pressing start. It sets the bit height and the fence in the position for the first cut. You make the cut and then press next. It's now positioned for the second cut in the first slot. Remember, it's a 6mm bit cutting an 8mm slot. You then press next again and it goes for the first cut of the second slot, and then the second cut of the second slot, and so on, for as many fingers as you need. In practice, the parts will be clamped to the mitre fence with an anti-tear out piece fitted behind. I'm actually using a 1/4 inch bit, so I've adjusted the numbers to 6.35 and the depth to 6mm. It's much thinner material, this. Let's give it a go. I've only cut a couple of slots. This is not terribly good material for this, but I hope you can see that both the fingers and the gaps are 8mm, as desired. I next tried a piece of oak with a much more substantial clamp. The cut looks very good. Let's try the mating part. So here are the two halves lined up. A light tap with a rubber mallet, and they're very tightly close together. Yes, I've left too much sand off, but that's my fault. I left too much excess when I set the depth of cut. I could have gone 3/4 mm less. This is, genuinely, the first box cut I've made on this machine. I'll know better next time. This is incredibly easy to do, and it's the way I should be making all my box joints in future. I had confidence in this working, but it's turned out much better than I expected. Very pleased with it. I have of course got other apps in the machine at the moment, but I think that's enough for now, and I will be developing more in future and adding them to the online resource. Hope you enjoyed this. Bye for now.